Broadcasting from the Professional Fantasy Football League studios in Marina Del Rey, California, I'm your host, John Hampton. This is PFFL Live. Thank you all for joining us for this week's episode of PFFL Live, the Thursday matchup preview episode. We are now in week 4. Thank God they're back. They're back. They're back. They're back. The NFL is whole again. The refs are back. We can stop talking about these immaculate receptions and all the other garbage that we've had to deal with for these first 3 weeks. Did anyone see that new South Park episode last night? If not, check it out. You'll get a good laugh, and it's all about football. So we've got the Baltimore Ravens playing the Cleveland Browns tonight for Thursday Night Football. So let's jump right in and check out some of this week's best matchups. As always, we now go to our Matchup of the Week. We're going to mix things up a bit this week, and instead of doing our regular Matchup of the Week, we're going to look at the League of the Week. We'll start with Tier 2 Orange. You glad I didn't say Tier 1. Half this league's teams are sporting 2-1 records, and they're all playing each other this week. So let's look at these 3 2-1 matchups, starting off with Hot Carlos versus Destruction, Mayhem, Terror, and Love. Hot Carlos has injured Matthew Stafford in his starting QB position. It'll be interesting to see if he makes the field this week, as he's been pretty ineffective this year so far. If he doesn't, then relying on Sam Bradford against a stiff Seahawks pass defense that just shut down Green Bay is not good. Other than that, he has a strong lineup with Foster, Peterson, the law firm, and Eric Decker. Destruction has what looks like a little less depth. However, he has Matt Ryan going against the struggling Panthers. He also has my favorite wide receiver in the league, AJ Green. This guy has looked great, and Dalton just continues to throw him the ball consistently. If Destruction's RBs, Ridley and Morris, can come through with some points this week, this could be a close matchup. But looking at it on paper, I have to lean in the direction of Hot Carlos. Look for him to go 3-1 this week. Next up in this tier, we've got another 2-1 matchup with Prestige Worldwide 2 versus the 5 Cs. Prestige Worldwide 2 has a great-looking team, and Drew Brees may be starting 0-3 this year, but he will still produce like he always does, especially in a must-win game against Green Bay. Jamal Charles, Mike Bush, and Andre Brown are his running backs. That is a fierce lineup for this week of games, with Brandon Marshall and Piercy Harvin also on his team. He's stacked. The 5 Cs doesn't look so hot. Rivers has not made very much of an impact thus far this season. Matt Forte probably won't even play, and Frank Gore will be facing a tough Jets defense. Andre Johnson and Rob Gronk will be carrying this team all week, but I don't know if that will be enough. If you didn't notice from my commentary so far, I'm heavily favoring Prestige Worldwide 2 and look for him to take the win in this matchup. All right, now let's look at our third and final 2-1 matchup from Tier 2 Orange. Fear the Beard versus Yechnud E. Menuhin. Yechnud E. Menuhin? What the hell kind of name is that? I'm a huge Giants fan, so I gotta show some love for Fear the Beard. I hope he's not referring to James Harden either. Fear the Beard, get a logo on your team. Once again, you're looking really solid. This league sure has some serious competition. Tony Romo and DeMarco Murray might struggle a bit this week against a pretty stiff Bears defense, but look for Shady McCoy to get some extra carries this week and Julio Jones to put up a monster game. Yehudi Mena what? I'm not sure about this name, had to Google this one. Who names their fantasy football after a violinist? Not even a cello player like Yo-Yo Ma? If that weren't weird enough, he also has a logo of a puppy in what looks like a taquito. I'm way confused here. Anyway, this team looks good. Definitely has been active on the waivers, but I'm not a fan of Danny Woodhead as running back number 1. I would pop Jaquez in that slot if I were him. Let's call him the violinist. He's got some tough matchups this week. Fear the Beard will win this game. All right, that's it for Tier 2 Orange. Let's jump into Tier 1 for the biggest matchup of this week with our old friend Daewoo Lanos versus Teddy KGB.
You could let it ride, Mike. Take your chances. You could let this happen.
Daewoo, as projected, is doing well this year, in big part thanks to RG3. If Chris Johnson can step up his game, this team is scary good. And look for the starting debut of Ryan Williams this week. I see big things for him as the Cardinals are on a roll. Whether it's AJ Green, Run DMC, or even Matt Ryan on his bench, Daewoo is yoked. Teddy KGB has survived a horrible start from Aaron Rodgers this year, which includes Jennings and Benson as the Packers struggle. He is going to start Tashard Choice this week after Spiller goes down. That will be interesting to watch. I've always thought this guy has had talent, just never really gotten the looks. Watch for Victor Cruz to put up big points in a Sunday Night Football matchup against the Eagles. Not only do I think Daewoo will win this game, I also think he's my favorite for taking the trophy this year in Tier 1. What a solid-looking team. Wrapping up this week, we jump down to Tier 3J in one of our only 3-0 versus 3-0 matchups in the PFFL. Show Me Your TDs versus Fox Hounders. Show Me Your TDs doesn't only have a great name, he's also number 5 in the power rankings so far this year, and definitely a potential candidate for the 2-tier jump into Tier 1 this year. He's deciding to start Andrew Hawkins, big play specialist so far this year, in his flex. I like this move. A weak Jacksonville D, a pass-happy Bengals offense, and a playmaker. Sounds like a recipe for success. I also see Vernon Davis continuing to light up the scoreboard. The Fox Hounders are a first-time fantasy football squad. We all know the rules of beginner's luck in fantasy football, and Fox Hounders is making a statement. I see Michael Vick having a comeback this week against the Giants, and his double-headed monster with Arian Foster and Maurice Jones-Drew is a pretty fierce force. The only guy I really don't like on this week's lineup is Jonathan Stewart, but hey, gotta do what you can with a thin bench on your flex play. Show Me Your TDs has clearly the better team, but I am siding with the beginner's luck and looking for an upset this week as the Fox Hounders go 4-0. Well, PFFL fans, that's it for your Week 4 previews. I'm John Hampton. Be sure to tune in Saturday for the PFFL Live breaking news and injury updates. And check out all the other content we are pushing out of the PFFL Facebook page and on our website. We're looking to have at least one show a day moving forward. Also, check out our Sunday Photo Smackdown, folks. It's a lot of fun. Send in your Smack Talk photo, and you'll win a prize from the PFFL. As always, you can always reach me directly at RealJohnHampton on Twitter. For more news, smack talks, and updates, visit us at thepffl.com. That's the-pffl.com. This has been a presentation of the PFFL.